What is up, Slap Fight fans? I am Jason Burgos. I am joined by a true rising star in this fast-growing sport. Late last year, he took SlapFIGHT Championship by storm when he scored 3 straight victories in the light heavyweight tournament at the Redemption pay-per-view. Now, he returns to the barrel on May 6th on Fight at the Undisputed pay-per-view event to battle the two-division king, that is Wolverine, and that man I speak of is the one and only White Simba, Senor Simba. Thanks for the time today.
Thank you.
So, I have a bunch of questions. First, I wanted to, talk to you about how you ended up getting involved with Slap Fight Championship. Like, how long had you been even interested in slap fighting as a sport? Because it's super new. When did you, like, when did you that first thought in your mind say, yeah, I want to do this. I want to slap the hell out of someone and then also get slapped back?
Yeah, I mean, I just saw it on YouTube a few years ago. I feel like I started watching reactions to the Russian slapping competition.
Okay.
Um, and then like that guy, Moist Critical, I've been a big fan of his for a while. Um, and so he like started watching the Russians, and then he just moved onto the American circuit, and that's when I started following that. And I was just watching it individually, and I was just kind of analyzing it, and it just looked really easy, and it was. So what can I say?
As mentioned in the broadcast, you have a background in tennis, and that similar motion showed in the unbelievable success you had at the Redemption pay per view. How much like preparation and like slap practice did you actually do before the tournament, or did you really just kind of trust that you knew what you were doing in terms of that kind of motion and really didn't do too much practice, and maybe that was part of why you had those stepping penalties in the first round?
Yeah, tennis is a big part of my whole form and my technique and everything, but I didn't start slapping like the way that I do now. And even in the tournament, it's not, my form wasn't where I really wanted it to be. And with the stepping violations, it was like there's a lot of things that I had to fix, and I've really fixed a lot for the Wolverine fight, and it's going to be slapping perfection with what I deliver. But tennis, my background in tennis was a huge part of what went into creating my form.
And I'm glad you mentioned that you made changes and will evolve. We'll get an even newer, better version of you at Undisputed, because that's what I was going to ask about. Like, this was your first time doing it, and then also you had the good fortune of having 3 bouts in one night to pick up a lot of experience real quick. Like, what were those particular takeaways, eat offensively and defensively? Because you did get your bell rung a couple of times, which is completely understandable. This is a very high physicality kind of a sport. Like, what things did you feel okay, yep, I need to fix that here and here? Did you talk to fellow competitors, maybe get some tips? Like, how different is yourself going into that tournament and compared to going into this fight with maybe the best competitor in the sport?
Yeah, I mean, experience is a lot, and it plays a huge factor, obviously, in a lot of sports. But like my first time doing that was incredible, and I think it really showed a lot of what I'm capable of
Yeah.
as White Simba, and what I'm going to continue to bring. Because like my second time doing this with Wolverine, the champion is going to be like I'm exponentially better, and I'm very excited to show what I've built for myself.
What I love about this sport and the promotion are the nicknames. Talk to me about the White Simba nickname, and does it come from your background in hip hop as well?
I mean, White Simba, like you look it up on Urban Dictionary, and it's when you ejaculate onto somebody's stomach or back, and then you take that ejaculatory fluid and rub it onto the person's forehead
Oh.
um, with your 2 fingers, like Simba style. But it's like I didn't know that choosing the name,
Yeah.
but it's kind of um, there's a lot to White Simba, and I really feel like it just fits uh, everything that I am perfectly, and like everything that's happening, I feel like is just building up into something incredible.
That almost feels like a kind of thing like after you beat somebody, you just give them the two on the forehead and see what happens. It's already there. It's already built in. There's a great trash talk, and that's what's big in this kind of industry too. But tell me about, like I mentioned it, you do. I know you do rapping and stuff like that. Talking about your talents as a lyricist. How long have you been doing this? And what made you I know drop a diss track on Wolverine. What was the creation, the impetus of that too?
Yeah, so I dropped a diss track. I'm still waiting for a response. But my lyricism is just kind of a tribute to my education. I had a very good education. I was studying biochemistry in college, and then just kind of decided to do this instead. And I'm just accepting the path that's being laid out for me. And but like I, I'm a lot more intelligent than I put off, and I'm just trying to use that in an artistic way. And so I'm taking a very artistic approach to this whole slapping thing, and then I want to do music as well, and just see where that all takes me.
And I'm glad you brought up the approach you have to this, and you're doing it in an artistic way, because I feel like you could be, and this promotion needs it, but like a Conor McGregor, a Floyd Mayweather of SlapFIGHT Championship. Are you feeling that too? Is that what you are maybe aiming for, reaching for on a certain level with your own kind of version of it? And have you gotten any kind of like blowback from SlapFIGHT fans who, those purists who maybe aren't used to someone that's openly confident, openly cocky about, slapping the shit out of somebody?
Yeah, the thing I love about this sport is that I can talk like as much shit as I want, and like you're not gonna be able to do anything about it because I'm just gonna stand across from you and slap you in the face, and you gotta take it. And you're gonna go to the ground, and like you may slap me, but like I'm just gonna eat that shit and deliver. And it's a really empowering feeling, you know. But
Talk,
yeah, like I feel like I've got a great personality for this shit, and I'm making a character, and I'm having fun with it.
talk to me about, because you mentioned you were in school for biochemistry. If you weren't doing this, like, what was the long term goal? Like, what were you planning to work towards to becoming, getting a career of in that field?
I initially wanted to be a doctor, some kind of like an anesthesiologist or a radiologist, but that's just way too much schooling, and I didn't really feel like going to school for that long.
Yeah.
Like I do like school and I value education a lot, but it's not really the path I wanted to go down. And so I kind of settled on doing some kind of X-ray tech program, but now I'm more leaning towards doing a graphic design program
Okay.
here in Utah. I'm not even from Utah. Came down to Utah for school, and now I'm just kind of going on this artsy path.
What's
But I
the
do love science and all that. I love everything.
what's the opinion of the family, the friends, that you're doing slap fight? You're on pay per view. You could be headlining a pay per view on fight. Like, what are their opinions of this? Like, are they familiar with the White Simba persona? Is everything just like blowing their mind, or they know you, and this is like, yeah, he's doing slap fighting. That trends.
I mean, nothing's familiar with anything that I'm doing, and it's kind of the whole. It's very different, and nobody really understands exactly what's happening.
Hmm.
And I feel like, I mean, I don't really blame them because it's very difficult to understand, but I expect understanding to come slowly, but
All right.
they don't support it right now, but they're coming around, you know.
Well, if you start becoming famous and cashing in some solid money and sponsorship, I think they'll definitely come around. Now, you talked a good amount of trash to Wolverine at the Redemption pay per view, after the tournament, after his bout. You have since then. We talked about the diss track, which I wouldn't be surprised if you don't get a response on that. Are you trying to get in Wolverine's head before this main event at Undisputed? Are you trying to rattle him a little bit? Which, because there aren't many kind of colorful personalities in terms of trash talk in the sport, it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is really mental. Like there's only so much physical preparation you can do, but like I've achieved a power level enough to where I'm just really trying to work on my mental game and create like these psychological uh things that Wolverine has to get through to like perform his best against me. Like I really
Yeah.
think I do have a severe edge over him in that aspect. And it's not to like disrespect him, but I just think that would be against anybody.
Yeah.
Because I'm very advanced and like I feel like slapping has more of a mental game
Hmm.
than something like chess. You know,
Okay.
like chess, uh, and I feel like I'm better at slapping than any chess player is at chess. You know,
Huh.
I'm like
All right.
in slapping, I am like Magnus Carlsen. I'm the Magnus Carlsen plus of slapping.
All right.
Um, like, who's won a chess game in one move? You know.
Yeah. So I mean, based you mentioned your power level stuff like that. I mean, what you were able to do as a debuting fighter, a debuting athlete in this was super impressive. I mean, it shocked a lot of people. Different kind of style, you know. Do you feel like, I think a lot of people are interested in it? Do you feel you are a pound for pound as hard a slapper as there is in the industry, and are you on the level and beyond? Do you feel the Wolverine?
I think I've got the power offensively of like a super duper heavyweight,
All right.
and I don't think there's going to be a lot of people that will be able to stand after my new power. I'm just going to continue to evolve. You know, I'm going to continue to get exponentially better,
Mm.
and I don't think there's going to be many people who are going to be able to even challenge me in that aspect. But like defensively, you know, Wolverine, I feel like has a way better defense than his offense.
Yeah.
Um, and I really think it's going to surprise a lot of people what happens.
Do you feel? And I think a lot of people, you know, the diehard fans are looking at this fight, and like you nailed it. As good as a slapper as Wolverine is, this dude's durable. This dude has gone in there and fought the heavyweight champion multiple times and didn't get knocked out. Like, he didn't want to quit in that fight. He just had to get stopped by the doctors. Do you feel that it's an imperative? You got to get him out of there early. You got to get that coin toss, get him out of there early, because maybe the fight, it just benefits him the longer it goes because he's so durable.
I don't think that I have to get him out early. I just think that I that's the way it's going to work out is that he's going to go down early. And I don't think there's going to be a lot that he's going to do or that I'm even going to be able to do to prevent that from happening.
Final question. There's always pressure. This is a title fight. I mean, but it's always different for a newer competitor. It's all fresh. It's all different. It's all exciting. I mean, for him, he's been around a long time. But is the pressure on him? Because if he's expected to win, he's the superstar. You're the new guy. If you lose, hey, people are gonna, hey, you're supposed to lose to Wolverine. Is this pretty much a win-win scenario for you? And honestly, all the pressure is on him, so you could really go into this title fight pretty loose.
I feel like I am the chosen one for this sport in that I am meant to be the champion and to continue that championship title for a long time. And I don't think there's a lot of pressure for that. I just think that's what's destined to happen.